Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another Make It With Me Monday. We had a nice spring day here in Wisconsin again. Some sunshine and then the 50s, and it was a nice day to spend a little time outside even, so that's really kind of fun. Glad to see that spring is kind of finally headed our way. Gonna wait just a couple minutes for anybody to join me here. If you're stamping with me live tonight, hope to see you in a few minutes here. Just a little bit of housekeeping. Remember that the current annual catalog and the current mini catalog are only orderable through May 1st. So check those last chance lists. Make sure you've got everything that you wanted to get out of here before it might be gone for good. The retirement lists are out, etc. Remember, there's lots of colors that are leaving. So you want to stock up on either cardstock or ink refills if they're still available. So don't forget to take a look at all those lists. And I believe many of you have already gotten the new catalog in your mailbox if you had requested one from me. If you don't have one yet and you still want one, please drop a note. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you tonight. Please drop a note in the comments here, and I will make sure that I get one out to you. I love the cover. I love this little rainbow effect that we got going on here. I can't show you anything on the inside yet. That's still illegal according to my Stampin' Up! Rules. But I can show you that cover just so you knew what to look out for. So I know hi, Aunt Mary, good to see you tonight. I know several of you have told me that they arrived in your mailboxes, so yay. And again, if you don't have one yet, just shout out in the comments and I will make sure that I get one out to you. All right, so for tonight's projects, I am using Color and Contour. This is one of our sets that's carrying over again. And it does coordinate with a die set that's called Scalloped Contours. Makes little rectangles with scalloped edges, really kind of a cute one. But I'm going to be using this one because I knew that since it's carryover, it was safe to use. And all the paper that I'm using tonight, when I checked yesterday, it was all still available. So hopefully that is still the case in case there's something that you see tonight and fall in love with and want to make sure you get before it's gone. All right, so here is what you needed for tonight. You need a piece of neutral cardstock that's 5.5 by 8.5, and then scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to be using our thick basic white. And you needed something kind of a tag. You could use just a straight up rectangle, which is what I'm going to start with here. I know, Kathy, I was kind of surprised it's still hung around. It's been around for a few years already, but I love the two-step of the option that goes along with this one, which is, excuse me, something I'll demonstrate in just a second. So a tag shape, if you have like literally a shape of a tag or something like that, or you could just use a straight up rectangle that's about 1.5 by 2.5. Okay. And then a piece of designer series paper that's 2 by 4 1/4. All right. And then grab a medium sized phrase, inks to match. And then if you have a little bling, some kind of rhinestones or pearls or something like that, we're going to add just a little bit of something to your project there. So grab whatever you're going to be stamping onto your tag piece. I have this larger flower and then the inside of it going right there. And I'm going to do my outline in Memento. And it's not going to all fit on there, but that's okay. I just am going to have kind of just the flowers showing up at the top here. Okay. And just visually for camera purposes, this works a little better for me. All right, so there is my flower. And then I'm going to take Orchid Oasis. I took the color from my designer series paper. It's this purpley color in the background. So I'm going to be, hi Mom, good to see you tonight. I'm going to be using Orchid for my flowers. Maybe not quite traditional, but I like the way it brought out that darker color focus in the background of my designer series paper. All right, and these are designed to kind of line up and match. They don't fill it perfectly. But just a little hint of what the color would look like then in your flowers. So there you go. That's one of the things I love about the two-step stamping, and it's not meant to be completely perfect. So it's very forgiving. If you have issues lining things up or something like that, it tends to be very forgiving. So I like that a lot. All right, let's go ahead and grab your card base. Here we go, and give that a nice score. All right, so we're going to be doing a vertical card for now, and I'll show you a horizontal version later as well. All right, we're going to take that designer series paper, and this one here comes from Fancy Floral. There we go. That's in the mini catalog. We're going to place that down kind of in the top half of your card. Enough room so that your phrase will still fit under here once we have our tag in place. Okay? Tag, you can decide if you want to pop that up with dimensionals at this point. I will show you mine stamped straight down, or stamped straight down, laid straight down. There we go. Okay. And then take your phrase. I'm going to use the thank you for everything that comes in that color and contour set. And that's going to go just below my tag shape, like so. And then I will grab, for my bling, so to speak, I brought over my in color dots. These I believe are exiting as well. They're going to give you some new options for some of these in color ones. But what I thought was kind of fun about the way they designed these is that they're an ombre effect. So I've been using some of these even with not even the color that matches, like the hi Karen, good to see you tonight. Don't worry if you're a little late, you can catch up later. What I thought was neat was like the strawberry or the sweet sorbet one. By the time it got to the lightest colors, it was fitting in with some of my other paler pink colors. So that was really kind of nice. These guys were really neat to use. I like that a lot. And then speaking of, I think I am going to go for a couple of those because they look very similar to this corally color. And I'm just going to add a couple up in the corner of my designer series paper. All right, so that is that. This is a super quick and simple one, depending on what you were doing with your tag, and et cetera, et cetera. So let me get that out of my way here, and then I will show you some of the other options I did for tonight. So I'll just set this up here so you guys can take a look at that one. All right, so this one here uses a vanilla background. And I used Peaceful Moments and then the Poppy Moments dies. So I took a poppy colored solid and then put a vanilla one over it. I did use an actual tag shape, and then I used my marker. This tag, when you cut it out, it puts a stitched little dots in there. So I went through it with my marker and traced around those, so it kind of added a little bit of that more color to it. And then this paper is the Tea Boutique. And then I have classic matte dots up here, two little vanilla dots up in the corner. All right, this one for more masculine feel. Crumb Cake is my neutral. I used one of our punches here. This is the Lasting Label punch. And I highlighted the edges just a little bit with my espresso ink to make it pop off a little bit better. This phrase comes from Peaceful Moments again. That's one of the stamp sets that is leaving. And then this comes from the He's the Man Designer Series paper. And the unique thing about this one here is you get several sheets of two-sided Designer Series paper like you're used to seeing. And then you have two sheets that have punched like shapes and pre-made tags and phrases and shapes and things like that that are just ready to punch out and use. So this little grill and then these two stars just came from one of those sheets. So really that was the only stamping I did, was to add the little happy birthday onto the bottom there. So that's a really fun one to have around. Good, really great for masculine projects. So if that's still available, I recommend picking up a He's the Man Designer Series paper pack. All right, this one here, I'm using the medium daisy punch, which is on its way out. And this one comes from Butterfly Kisses. So this is kind of done in coral and white with little black accents. So you can see I added a background layer to both parts. And I used some black matte dots to kind of pop out that color there. And in case you're wondering how this came to be, I just took my daisy punch and a little bit of scrap of coral and then cut around where the center would be so that I could fit it into or over where the two daisy parts met. So a little bit of a putsy cut, but it works. All right, and here's that horizontal version I promised you before. This is all done, this is all fussy cut out of the Hues of Happiness. So I have this piece from Hues of Happiness, and then on one of the other pieces, I cut out a few that were a part of the Designer Series paper, including the leaves. And then this white piece here is the, which tag is that? The Essential Tag Punch. And then I just laid it on a piece of cardstock, the flamingo cardstock, and I cut around to make it a little bit bigger. So the white is the part that's actually punched with the Essential Label punch. This one comes from Something Fancy, which is in the mini catalog, but it is carrying over into the new big one, so hooray. And then I used some flat adhesive pearls to put in the center of my flowers. All right, let me show you how I stepped up the on-camera version today. Again, it was all about the layering. Ignore where I dropped my ink pad after I was all done. Because of course, once, you know, it's all done, and that's when I decided to drop my ink pad. Okay, whoops, my little guy's a little off center there. Okay, so again, it was about the layering. So I took some extra Orchid Oasis paper, and I did that around a border for my DSP. I took the scalloped contours dies that I was telling you about earlier, and I die cut one of those, and then that fit into the inside of that. And then same phrase, same other ink colors, and again, those little matte dots from the In Color collection. So that's really easy to just step this up a little bit with some, you could do like some shading around the edge of your tag like I did here if you want to make that pop off a little bit better, or do a layer for it. Whatever you like to do, that was going to make that a little more uniquely you. All right, everybody, that should pretty much wrap that up. This one was super quick tonight. I don't even think we took 15 minutes here. So just remember, those catalogs are winding down. If there's anything you want that's leaving the annual catalog or the mini catalog, make sure you grab that before May 1st, before those are taken out of the system for good. And then again, if you haven't already gotten your new catalog in the mail, please give me a shout out so that I can make sure that I get you one. Okay? Thanks, Kathy. Glad you liked them. If you guys want to share what you've made, please feel free to post it under this video. We'd love to see what you're using and what you're making. Any questions, drop them in the comments, and I will have all the samples and the page numbers and all that kind of good stuff all posted within the next hour or so. All right, everybody, have a great night. Enjoy, and I will see you again next Monday night. Take care, everybody.